Мяушки, котики. Мы сегодня продолжаем проходить Alan Wake. Я продолжаю.
Previously on Alan Wake, Alice has been kidnapped.
Алис, о, кстати, да, я поставила
I can't tell anyone except my agent Barry.
русские субтитры.
You're my best friend, and I'm worried that you're not right in the head.
The ransom is a manuscript I supposedly wrote that's coming true before my eyes.
It happened just the way it was on that page. So dark.
I have found only a few scattered pages.
I want the entire manuscript.
The deadline is in 2 days.
I found Mr. Wake's pages.
Good girl.
Эпизод 3.
How the hell did she get her hands on the manuscript anyway?
I don't know. She's resourceful. I told you you were too hard on her. Listen, I found out all sorts of interesting stuff while I was digging around.
Yeah.
Mr. Wake, it's Sheriff Breaker. We have an FBI agent here, Agent Nightingale.
FBI?
He's anxious to see you. You'd better come to the station.
Okay, I'll be right over, Sheriff. Let's make this quick, huh?
Help you folks? Name's Randolph. I'm the manager.
We're looking for Rose. Works as a waitress down at the diner.
Rose, sure. Nice girl. Who wants to know?
I'm Alan Wake.
A writer, huh? I heard on the radio you were visiting. Well, I'll show you her trailer. That Rose, she's a nice girl. Always pays her rent on time.
As I was saying, Al, I found all sorts of weird stuff from the local newspaper's archives. This place is crazy.
Люди пропадают, таинственные убийства.
Mysterious deaths, urban
Жившие
legends
городские
come
легенды.
true, and get this. Most of this stuff
Больше
takes
всего
place
этой
around Cauldron Lake.
мутится вокруг
Well,
озера
you ain't
Колдрон.
wrong, mister. The Indians thought the lake was a doorway to the underworld. I'm the God-fearing type myself. I don't hold with that sort of thing.
Так,
Yeah, okay. Anyway, there was an island there owned by a guy called Thomas Zane.
так,
Now,
секунду. Не видно текста, поэтому... Что я там переместила? Я вот это хотела. Вот так. Чтобы текст было видно.
Some of the articles I found about him make him out to be a famous writer, but I ran a bunch of searches, couldn't find a single thing he wrote. Zane was heavily into diving, so much so that the place came to be called Diver's Island. But the volcano under the lake erupted in 1970, and Zane went down with the island.
Вместе с островом. Так, куда мы идем? Ага, вот тот домик.
Yeah, how about that? It was there in the morning, as if it had fallen from the sky. But it would take a tornado to lift something like that. We're damn lucky it didn't crush any of the trailers.
Нормально. С неба свалилось.
Come on, mister. I'll take you to Rose's trailer.
Как ты медленно ходишь.
It gets better. A local girl, Barbara Jagger, drowned in Cauldron Lake just a week earlier. They were lovers.
Sure, Jagger's a local spook story. The Scratching Hag comes for you in the dark. Childish stuff like that.
Anyway, Al, I'm just getting to the best part. All of the articles about this stuff were written by Cynthia Weaver. I asked around, and she's that crazy bag lady you met.
What, the lamp lady? She can be a little loopy, but she's not homeless or anything.
Yeah, anyway, she knew both Jagger and Zane before they both died, and she had some kind of a breakdown.
Какие интересные подробности. Короче, нам вот сюда, я так поняла.
Well, mister, this here's Rose's trailer. You mind me asking what you want with her?
We're just here to talk to her, pal.
Поговорить, конечно. Ну давай, Барри. Барри же его зовут, насколько я помню.
Welcome to... Oh dear, Mr. Wake. I'm so glad you're here.
Rose, you have my manuscript?
Oh. Oh yes. Yes.
Она
Please,
странная.
come in.
А еще у нее было какое-то темное это
Hey,
вокруг головы.
this is really good.
Rose,
Yes,
my manuscript. I really need it.
I understand. I know what you need. A muse to inspire you.
Oh, for Barry? She doesn't have anything.
Yeah, hey, Al? Al, what's... Oh...
Класс.
What?
Опоили нас.
It's coming for you, hiding in my barber's skin. I'm too weak to stop it. You must turn the lights on.
Зажечь огни.
I promised I'd come visit you and your lovely wife. You must finish what you started. I insist.
You must turn the lights on. Turn the light on.
Back to work, boy.
Где это я?
I felt nauseous, hungover. Only anger kept me going.
Wake.
I can't tell reality from dream anymore, but it seems I have an imaginary editor to help me. She's an old woman in a funeral dress. I call her Barbara Jagger. She's very strict. I'm writing faster and faster. My manuscript is being heavily revised. The edits are getting very aggressive, and each day there's less of me and more of her. I hate it, but I know she's right. She promises me I can save Alice this way. She knows more of this than I do. About the complex incantation I'm attempting. About this place. She's worked with another writer under similar circumstances, Thomas Zane. The genre of the story seems to be shifting. It's turning into a horror story. I'm getting close. I can feel it.
Как интересно. Фоточки. Книжка. Тут еще целая куча книжек. За авторством Алана Уэйка. Что-то еще тут есть? Кажется, нет.
Rose took a day from me. I had less than 12 hours left to meet the kidnapper. All I could do was get Barry into the car, work something out once I got on the road.
Welcome to the Oh Dear Diner. What can I get you today? Coffee?
I couldn't work up much hate for Rose. Something had used her to get to me and left its mark.
First refill is free. Milk and sugar on the counter there. Would you like to hear today's specials? Thank you. Have a nice day. Come back soon.
Не. Жалко девчонку.
My
конечно.
gun and flashlight were gone. I'd have to find a way to get Barry into the car as quickly as possible. There was no time to waste.
Так, ну, вроде как пока у меня нет оружия, на меня, по идее, не должны нападать. Хотя, это не точно.
I just stepped outside to catch a breath of fresh air. Let me tell you, the weather's getting heavy. Nights like this make me especially glad I'm here talking to you. Tangled bed sheets and dark thoughts, punctuated by the occasional plunge into nightmare. Is it just me? Well, perhaps it is. But I hope I can make the night a little bit easier to get through. Caller, you're on KBF FM.
Hey, Pat, it's Walt Snyder.
What's on your mind, Walt?
Well, I am the way you are, but, well, I can't sleep either, you know? I just been staring out the window here, trying to make sense of it all, but, I ain't been drinking either, you know? I just...
Well, you sound like a man with a problem, Walt.
I had argument with Danny. You know, Danny, and, then I got in trouble with the law. You know, and, I'm just, well...
I heard something like that, Walt.
Yeah, well, you know, Danny's my best friend, and, they let me, bail.
А это не тот чувак, который в этом, в участке был? Да. Ой. Так, ладно. Добраться до машины. О, музычку включили. А выключить можно? Нет? Ну ладно. Дайте мне, пожалуйста, фонарик. Только термос с кофе. Ну, хоть что-то. Ой-ой, мне не нравится, что он там стоит. Ладно.
Oh, you're gonna get it now. God knows what you've done to that poor girl.
This is Agent Nightingale, FBI! Get him up, Hemingway! You're under arrest! You move a muscle, I'll unload right in your goddamn face! Stay right where you are, Slane!
What are you? I'm standing right here, you goddamn maniac!
I hated to leave Barry behind, but there was no way I'd miss my appointment with the kidnapper.
Give it up, Mr. Wake. Come on. Make it easy on him.
Get after it. Don't let him get away. Move it, move it, move it.
Не знаю, куда бежать. Буду бежать просто куда-нибудь.
Stop running! There he goes! Okay, men, keep your eyes peeled. He's gonna try to make it through here. Move out!
Oh, damn.
Fan out! Whoa! There he goes! Stop! Stop away!
Тихо, тихо.
God damn it! Where did he go? Lift away! Keep an eye out!
Смылся. Полагаю, сюда. Я уже вижу, как там что-то блестит.
He's gone! Come on, guys! We need to head him off!
Страничка. Ой, мне это не нравится. Ой, как это плохо. Вот это ничего себе. Так. Безы подседала. Что там?
Search the area!
Обыщите, говорит.
Stay sharp! This way! Over here! Hey! Who's there? Come on, this way!
А!
This horror was everywhere I went, circling me. The cops didn't stand a chance. They were after a writer, not a monster.
Блин. А, все понятно. Минус вертолет. Сейчас вороны с ним разберутся. О, это радиовышка. Нет? Контрольная точка. А, нет. Это не радиовышка. Радиовышка дальше должна быть.
This is James. Mulligan, Thornton, come in. Over. Thornton here. James, we got both Wheeler and Rose in custody. They didn't put up a fight or anything. Why, they were... Hey, what you... Come on. Sit down and give me that. James, Mulligan here. Over. Go ahead, Mulligan. Over. We got Wheeler and Rose here. Wheeler's drunk or hopped up on something. Speaking of which, that Fed had a pretty distinctive whiff of Otis Scotch about him, you know what I mean? Over. I don't have anything on that, Deputy Mulligan. Over. Well, whatever. Anyway, Rose is just being plain weird here. You better get Doc in to take a look at both. Over. Gotcha. You better get them here quickly. The, Fed's gonna want to interview Wheeler. Over. Oh, yeah, I'll bet he does. Looks like they have a lot in common. Mulligan out.
Так.
I could see the lights of the radio station in the distance.
Да, радиостанция. Далековато. Но придется до нее дойти.
I imagined that the broadcast tower in the distance was part of the local radio station. Maine seemed like a decent guy. Perhaps he could give me directions to the coal mine. Unnatural shadows clung to the gate. The darkness that was after me was trying to stop me. I wouldn't get through without a light.
Возьми термос. Это что?
There was no power to the searchlight.
Ага, прожектор. Хорошо. Значит, надо завести. Завели генератор. Так, отлично. Но меня все еще не радует, что у меня нет никакого оружия и даже фонарика. Еще одно. Так, тут у нас чего? Фонарик. Возьми. Нет, ничего. Эх, хотя бы фонарик, это, конечно, уже более-менее радует.
It took me a moment to recognize the flashbang grenades. They were an ideal weapon for my situation.
Световые гранаты, это хорошо. Так, стоп, а там больше ничего нет вообще? Нет, больше ничего. Сейчас нападать будут. Отлично. Свет. Световые гранаты. А батарейки? Не хотите мне дать батарейки?
What's on your mind, Milt?
Well, I live near the trailer park, Pat, and there's a big ruckus going on over there.
Well, that's just up the road from me, too. What's going on, do you know?
I don't know, but there's a bunch of police cars there, lots of sirens, a helicopter buzzing around, and I think I heard some gunshots.
Gunshots?
Yes, sir, like from a pistol. So can you find out what's going on? Because it's just next door and they're popping off guns there.
They're still shooting?
No, it was maybe 10-15 minutes ago. It sounds serious, Pat. I'm telling you, it don't sound like no party.
I'm certainly going to give the station a call, Milt.
Как интересно.
You'll hear it here as soon as I hear from them.
Okay, thanks.
Отлично.
You are under arrest.
Нормально. Четыре штуки осталось. Надеюсь, хватит. верь никому в темноте. Так. Да уж, в темноте не верь никому. Эй! А можно вернуться назад и восстановиться? Или там уже нет света? Твою ж налево. Эх, всего одна граната осталась. Это плохо. Куда мне бежать? Я даже не понимаю, куда мне надо. Блин, впустую потратила. Бегом! Бежим! Твою ж налево! Беги!
I hope Maine could lend me a car to get to the coal mine.
Why, hello, Lorna. What do you have for us?
Well, I just don't see why the cops bother with the trailer park.
What do you mean?
It's a trailer park. Of course you're going to have trouble in a place like that. I mean, what do you expect? The sheriff should be helping us normal citizens instead of wasting resources on those people.
Well,
Let the trash sort themselves out. I'm sorry, but my granddaddy settled in Wright Falls in 1911.
well, thank you very much for that compassionate viewpoint, Lorna. Oh, here's a little surprise. The famous writer Alan Wake just walked in, folks. I'm going to see if I can talk him into an interview.
Не лучший момент для интервью.
Come on in, Mr. Wake.
Ah, I'm so glad you could find the time to do this, Mr. Wake.
Nowhere to run now, Dan Brown. You back away from me. Don't hurt.
Whoa. Everyone calm down. Put the gun down. We're all friends here, right?
Cool your jets, Nightingale. We got him.
Shoot, priest!
What the hell's the matter with you? There's a civilian in there.
Да.
I'll get you yet, even if it kills me. You hear me? You hear me, H.P. Lovecraft?
I had fallen off so many cliffs it was ridiculous. That's what you get for naming a book The Sudden Stop. It was probably good I hadn't had the chance to tell Maine where I was going. I'd have to lose the cops and find my own
Две
way to the
сигнальные
mine.
ракеты. Это мало. Особенно учитывая, что я их постоянно трачу впустую. Совершенно случайно. Так. Да твою ж налево. Фух. Револьвер. Наконец-то у меня есть оружие. Так, тут что еще? Тихо. Нечем мне тут краски сгущать. Куда я иду? Ну, конечно, сейчас еще вылезут.
There was no sensible reason for the power company work lights to be here. It was almost as if they'd been left for someone like me to use.
Да ну хватит уже, а. А можно мне здоровье восстановить, пожалуйста? Твою уж налево. А! Да ну вас нафиг. Твою ж мать. Хорошо. Можно мне еще света? В свете я чувствую себя безопаснее. Так. Перезарядиться. И вообще... Мне больше устраивает револьвер. Хотя из него, конечно, надо 2 выстрела сделать. Так, мне куда вообще дальше-то? Это сюда? Похоже. Так. Страничка. Отлично.
Hello?
The most stubborn man I've ever met.
Alice? Alice?
Alan, I'm so afraid. Keeps me in the dark. Please help me. I look at you, Alan, and it's not you. Something else. Looking out from behind your eyes.
Alice, I'm here.
I'm so alone here. It's all gonna go to hell. You need to be careful. Cooperate.
The connection had been terrible, but that wasn't the only thing that hadn't been right with the call. She sounded wrong somehow, but she had called me. I could see a railway bridge up ahead, and a warehouse of some sort on the opposite shore. I hoped I could find a car from there.
Follow. Ой, я помню это место.
The darkness that was pursuing me was growing stronger, and it was taking over everything in its path. As a teenager, just starting to get interested in writing, Stephen King had been a source of inspiration to me. I thought about all the inanimate objects that had come to life in his books. No one is safe in a good horror story. Certainly not the protagonist. That's what makes them fun. This was anything but. The darkness could possess anything, and it was getting closer.
Мощный фонарик это круче, чем просто фонарик. Ладно. Чё? Блин.
That had come to life in his books. No one is safe in a good horror story. Certainly not the protagonist. That's what makes them fun. This was anything but. The darkness could possess anything, and it was getting closer.
Все. Вроде больше нет ничего.
Did you call 911?
Еще один был. Он идет в стену. Норм. Он просто шел в стену. Так, сразу перезарядить. Так, тут вроде ничего нет. На свету ты можешь причинить им боль.
We take the facts of our existence for granted, unaware that they are merely a thin veneer of desperate self-delusion covering a vast cosmos of madness and horror. All too often, the stars are right. In Night Springs. Tonight's episode, a family occasion. Journalist Alvin Derlis' trip to study the local customs of an insular community in Night Springs has been less than successful. Until tonight.
Well, I'm glad you changed your minds about this. Ancient customs, local mythology. My editor loves this kind of stuff.
Well, Mr. Derlith, we don't want to feel like we're on exhibition. But you have demonstrated the seriousness of your intent.
Oh, I am serious. Really, just do your thing. I'll stay out of your way and observe.
Actually, I thought you could assist us. I'm afraid we are a man short. It would provide you with an intimate perspective.
Could I really?
Of course, Mr. Derlith.
Well, I guess that's the least I... What would I have to do?
Oh, here. Let me show you with a kiss.
What did you...
Oh, Mr. Bird, you have well pleased Nixie Perka, the dweller in flesh. Your body shall host his 1,000 young, and all shall be glory.
Вот это ничего себе, как интересно. Какие там интересные программы, передачи идут по телевизору.
If you go looking for mythology, it may come looking for you. And such quests always bear fruit. In Night Springs.
Интересные у них там передачи по телевизору показывают. Тут вроде больше ничего нет. Сейчас на меня опять будут наседать. Вот. Давай немножко в светлой комнате посидим и почитаем странички.
Mr. Randolph liked Rose. That little smile she had. How she was still sweet when life had tried so hard to make her bitter. It wasn't any of his business what she did in her trailer. But those strangers, the writer and his smart-ass sidekick, looked like trouble. And they'd been in there for hours, way past her normal bedtime. He reached for the phone and called the sheriff's station. For decades, the darkness that wore Barbara Jagger's skin slept fitfully in the dark place that was its home and prison. It was hungry and in pain. It dreamed of its nights of glory when the poet's writing had called it from the depths and given it a brief, terrible taste of power and freedom. The rock stars had stirred it from the deep sleep the poet had sunk it back to in the end. When it sensed the writer on the ferry, it opened its eyes.
Так, тут странички нету.
Sarah trusted her gut, and her gut said Agent Nightingale was an asshole. He felt wrong, and it wasn't just the smell of stale booze. It was in the way he flashed his badge, pulled rank,
Привет,
the look in
Никит.
his eyes when he wanted answers. Where was Alan?
У нас град сегодня
What was
был.
this about an accident? Where was his wife? And most importantly, why did she let Wake go? He wouldn't answer her questions. Federal business was all he'd say.
Так, у нас вон в мае снег выпадал. Мы на 9 мая танцевали. У нас был вальс победы. Танцевали под снегом.
The pipe wrenched itself loose from the bridge's steel framework. Wrapped in darkness, it floated in midair, twitching. For a moment, I didn't understand what I was looking at. The heavy object lurched at me with impossible force. I threw myself out of the way, but just barely. When I turned my flashlight on it, it shook in a dark rage before it flew at me again. I slammed the door shut right in his smug face. He pleaded for me to open the door.
Ничего,
True
бывает.
to form, the asshole actually thought I would obey. I had no sympathy left, no guilt either, not for him. I took a moment to savor the scream. I bet I had a smile on my face. It was all that I had time for. The dark presence was inside the lodge with me. The darkness surged towards me, sucking everything loose from the ground into its depths, tugging at my clothes. I saw the flare the kidnapper had dropped and threw myself towards it just as I felt my feet leave the ground. The darkness embraced me with the force of a tornado. Somehow I managed to light the flare. The darkness roared and cast me away. I fell toward the dark waters of the lake far below.
Кучу страниц пропустила в первом эпизоде. Во втором только 5 пропустила. 2, 3, 4. А, ну в первом тоже 5 пропустила. третьем у меня еще целая куча впереди. Мне кажется, он везде доберется. Потому что у нас люди не хотят соблюдать карантин. Ой. Норм. Ну, давай, откуда вы там вылезете? Это то самое место. Жопа сейчас. Жопа, такая жопа сейчас будет. Тихо. Да, не врезайся ты в них. Класс. Это вот прям вообще жопа, а не момент. Так, надо наушники поменять. Блин. Алан, не впиливайся в них, пожалуйста. Ну ёпрст-то. Я гарантирую, я тут буду помирать просто миллион раз. Да ну хватит, ну отстаньте от меня. Зашибись. Ай. Ты совсем охреневший. Так, отлично. Он сбил своего. Так, тихо. Твою ж мать. А, тихо. Тихо, я сказала. Блин, ёпрст. Ай. Ай, Етишкин пистолет. Я не знаю, как тут. Но я точно знаю, что я тут миллион раз помру. Да, в смысле, я же уворачиваюсь, ну как так-то, я пернетята. А, блин. Я уворачиваюсь, почему ты не уворачиваешься? Тупой писательишка.
never been this glad to see the sunrise. I had a couple of hours to get to the coal mine. The coal mine wasn't far now. Today, I would meet the kidnapper, and he would give me Alice. I wouldn't give him any other choice. A drowning man will clutch at a straw.
Почему нельзя было на машине доехать? Не понимаю. Сколько вообще эпизодов в Alan Wake? Я что-то даже не посмотрела. Это не похоже на угольную шахту. Больше похоже на лесопилку. Машина слушается управление от слова никак. Стой, вылези. Хочу посмотреть, что там на вышке. Ничего полезного, кроме радио.
This is Pat Main, and you're listening to KBF-FM. Folks, I want to apologize for kind of abandoning you to that looping music track last night, but I was detained. You see, I encountered a big-shot G-man with an itchy trigger finger who could use a lesson in manners and a boot in the ass. Not necessarily in that order either. Now, folks, I know I'm not being very informative here, and I apologize for that. I really should just keep quiet, but I'm just so peeved right now, because some people just shouldn't be carrying badges. I'm just glad that our Sheriff Breaker was there to straighten things out. And if someone I met last night is listening, let me just say, I'm sorry if my mouth got you in trouble. I'm pretty sure you're not the bad guy here. Godspeed, son. I hope you know what you're doing. Now, on a lighter note, I'll be talking to Dr. Nelson all morning. But first, a little music.
Окей. Слушаю музычку. Может мне поменять машину? Хотя нет, мне это больше нравится. Пусть она и дымится. Она поехала раньше, чем завелась. Тихо! Вот это ничего себе! Вот это тут неожиданный такой поворот.
I was early. I was supposed to meet the kidnapper at noon in the main building. The coal mine was quiet. It was a museum now.
Музей. О, термос с кофе. Страничка. В 1970 году случилось извержение вулкана под озером Колдрон, и хотя оно было сравнительно слабым, большинство глубинных штреков обвалились или были затоплены. Во время катастрофы погибли 32 шахтера, и горная добыча в районе Брайт-Фоллс полностью прекратилась. Теперь многие из сохранившихся сооружений охраняются законом как исторические памятники. Окей. Днем все так мило. Светло. Тепло.
I didn't want to go outside. Cops had to be looking for me. The noon sun turned the place into a sauna. The day dragged on. Different scenarios ran through my mind. Ways of how I'd torture the kidnapper to get Alice back. Or the different horrible things he could have done to her. I imagined her dead. I had no way of knowing she was still alive. It was killing me. I was running on blind hope. It was all a waste of time. The bastard never showed up.
Where the hell are you?
Change of plans. You know where Mirror Peak is? It's a big mountain north of where you are. You follow the path from the mine, you can't miss it. There's a lookout point there. I'll be waiting.
I'm through being jerked around by you.
You want to see your wife alive? Because if you do, you better watch what you say to me. Do we understand each other?
I want to talk to Alice.
Yeah, and I want the manuscript. Don't keep me waiting, Wake.
Hello? Hello! Ah! I'm gonna kill him!
I had to get to Mirror Peak. It was close. Maybe closer than ever before.
О, неопределенно стоило это сделать. Так, батарейку у меня полный комплект. А вот боеприпасов можно и взять. Ага. все. Револьвер полный. Сейчас опять на меня полезут. Как муравьи. Еще один револьвер. Боеприпасы для револьвера, которых у меня дофига. Хватит уже бросаться в меня всяким. Тут я никуда не пройду, да? Окей. Световая граната. Револьвер и световая граната. Так, куда идти-то, блин? Опять в меня чем-то кидаются. Так, тут все, больше ничего нет.
What the hell?
Ого. Жуть. Ну ладно. Куда надо идти?
The only way to reach the hillside ahead was to go through the building. I had to find a way to avoid electrocution.
Так, и где мне отключить? Где-то там, судя по всему. Ой, здрасте. Это должны быть все. Ракетница. Боеприпас для ракетницы. Так. Все, подключила. Сейчас они на обратном пути еще на меня повылезают. Да? Что еще? А, блин. Эй, сзади нападать нечестно. Алло. Капец. Ух ты, сколько вас тут много-то. В смысле ты с ракетницы стреляешь? Сейчас должно быть. Там вот еще тележка должна на меня вылететь. С человеками вроде как разобрались. Или нет? Да нет, вроде не вылазят. Больше. А чё сразу две-то? Зачем сразу две? Алло! Кыш отсюда. Все. Успокоимся, давайте. Давайте успокоимся и не будем ничего совершать ошибок. Вот это нежданчик. Здрасте. Вроде все. Так. Перезаряди. Так, батареечки, патрончики. Все. Чуть-чуть батареечек, чуть-чуть патрончиков. Что так мало? Я еще хочу. И батареечек, и патрончиков. О, батареечки. Сигнальная ракета и патрончики. Все замечательно. Пошли вон. Вроде... Стоп. Тут что-то можно подобрать? Нет, походу нельзя. Ладно. Пошли наверх. Перезаряди. Так, тут никаких полок нет. Следуй туда. Окей. Следуй туда, так следуй туда. Следую. Жутенько. Патроны. Батарейки. Открыли ворота. Свет погас.
There was no way the flashbang grenades were standard power company equipment.
Почему нельзя? Эх, почему нельзя на машинке поехать? Ходят тут. Вижу страничку. Ничего больше нету. Вроде нет. Припасики. Световые гранаты — это прям то, что мне сейчас нужно. О, действительно. Так, ну что, туда? Походу. Сохранялочка, припасики. Тут чего? Еще припасики.
I had no real plan. I was going to give the kidnapper all the manuscript pages I had for Alice. If that wasn't enough, I'd hold him at gunpoint and make him talk.
Так, не-не-не. Не гасни. Неплохое такое оружие. О, сохранялочка. Два граната, только одна осталась. Что там происходит?
The dark presence was moving ahead of me in the same direction I was going. A cold feeling settled itself in the pit of my stomach. Was it going for Alice?
The graveyard shift may cause cancer.
Контрольную точку включили.
The place was dead, a ghost town. Had been for decades, maybe a century.
Так, понятно. И явно не сюда. Город-призрак. Почему сюда нельзя зайти? Жаль. Так, страничка. Чего? Грейпик-Гордж. Шахтерский городок Грейпик-Гордж был основан в 1928 году как одно из постоянных поселений для рабочих горнодобывающей компании Брайт Фоллс. Близлежащее кладбище служит мрачным напоминанием об опасностях, ежедневно поджидающих шахтеров. Там похоронено большинство погибших за все эти годы. Мрачное предупреждение живым о необходимости соблюдать осторожность. Грейпик-Гордж был покинут жителями практически за одну ночь в 1970 году, когда закрылась горнодобывающая компания Брайт Фоллс. Ага. Батарейки. А у меня батареек полная. Я бы от патронов не отказалась. Патроны для меня сейчас предпочтительнее. Причем любые патроны. Так, ладно, понятно. Мне дальше по мосту. Или это не мост? А, это не мост. Это загрузочная станция. Так где она? Ну-ка, восстанавливайся. А, сейчас еще это в меня будет пуляться. Ты еще, блин, сдохни от них. Чудище. Так. Достигнута контрольная точка. Я еще и случайно трачу патроны. Без дерева. Ух. Безопасное место.
I needed a key for the door.
Ага. Для безопасного места надо еще найти ключ. Ключ. Батарейки. А, нет, это боеприпасы для ракетницы. Я думала, это батарейка. О, вот батарейка.
Anything outside of riding is a struggle. I feel ill. I managed to make my way downstairs. There's a shoebox filled with books and papers by Thomas Zane. It's very hard to focus, but I managed to read some of it. He's a poet, and a good one. He writes of muses and creators summoning fabulous things from a magic lake, using his powers to shape the world of a realm of gods and dreams and demons, dark things that wait for a chance to slip through, wearing the flesh of men as disguise. Zane writes about himself, his girlfriend being taken over by a dark presence, about growing scared of the lake. Zane believes it's a mirror to the gaping void of darkness above, where some Lovecraftian presence lurks. I crawl back upstairs. I'll borrow these things for my story. They ring true. They fit.
Охотничье ружье.
The kidnapper had sent me a text. The message was full of spelling errors and insults. It was telling me to hurry up.
Так, тут припасики. Что там? Ракетница и боеприпасы для ракетницы.
Birds.
Меня сейчас тут ронять будут. Эй, вы-то откуда взялись, блин, третья стая? Класс. Серебряный рудник. Туннели ведут Колдерн Лейк, к озеру Колдерн.
Without warning, the headache stabbed at my brain.
Это нормально?
Alice?
Alice!
I'm losing it. I gotta get out of here.
Страничку нашел. Это вода. Так, ладно. Пошли обратно.
With Nightingale gone and the night wind blowing in through the broken studio window, Maine stared at Sarah. The sheriff looked away. Maine's voice shook with barely controlled anger. That boy's doing more drinking than thinking. I hope you know what you're doing, Sarah. He's got a sickness in his eyes. You take my word for it. He wants Wake for a reason, and it's not for anything good. When Thomas Zane fell for Barbara Jagger, it happened fast. She was young, vibrant, and beautiful, full of life. He had never been a very happy man, and without any seeming effort, she had changed all that. Zane felt good for the first time in his life. Everything she did was another piece of a jigsaw puzzle he hadn't even known he'd been missing. And best of all, she made the words flow, strong and sharp. She was his muse. I stared through the bars of the jail cell. Barry stood behind me, swaying on his feet, looking as ill as I felt. Agent Nightingale stood on the other side of the bars with Sheriff Breaker. Nightingale had a stack of manuscript pages in his hand. He seemed unhinged as he gloated. Well, I've got you now, Raymond Chandler. It's all here. All the evidence, including conspiracy to murder a federal agent. Things were never as simple in real life as in fiction. I had lost count of the times I had wished there'd be a clear reason for my writer's block. Something to fight, something to lash out on. There wasn't. I was filled with doubt. I was nothing like the hero in my books. Alex Casey had gone through his life with single-minded determination, never wavering from his goal. Even now, I was angry at myself, angry at Alice, angry at Barry. I was fumbling and I had no plan.
У меня не было никакого плана.
The hunters were big, thick-set men, confident and at home in the woods. They were feeling good, running on beer, ghost stories, and camaraderie late into the night. It did them no good, as they were taken by the dark presence, sucked deep into a darkness far worse than any ghost story they ever told or heard.
No. Куча страничек пропущено. Батарейки нужны.
I'd have to make my way up this mine shaft in order to go on. Maybe the machinery could help me with that.
Ты чё, падаешь? Ступенек не заметил. в наушниках все слышится в обратном порядке.
Oh, great. Another cable car. Just great.
Да уж. Не розовые бабочки. Ладно, пошли дальше. Озеро Колдрон. Озеро Колдрон, 8-е по глубине в мире. Это вулканическое озеро, так называемая кальдера. Сам вулкан можно считать активным, но он не извергался со времен вулканического землетрясения в 1970 году. И даже с той поры подземная активность была сравнительно слабой, хотя материальный ущерб и случался, но обходилось без жертв. Озеро Колдрон – одно из красивейших мест в окрестностях Брайт-Фоллс и вместе с тем центральный элемент местных легенд. Это популярная зона отдыха для жителей региона. Да. Кофеек. Не знаю, зачем мне эти термосы с кофе собирать. Но пусть будут. Опа, листочек. Подожди, тут дальше нельзя пройти? Нет, окей. Горные развалины. Развалины гор. А, точно развалины. В заросшем парке стоит старинный дом. Забиты окна, и мрак царит извечно в нем. Ты разговариваешь со мной по телевизору. Я скучаю по тебе, Том. Том. Я проклинаю тебя, Томас Зейн. Это ты написал это? Боеприпас для дробовика. У меня нет дробовика. У меня есть револьвер. О, боеприпасы для охотничьего ружья. Отлично. Сигнальные ракеты. Сейчас, короче, туда пройду, и и потолок рухнет. Потолок. А там внизу меня будут ждать теневые человечки. Да, Йова. Да заряжай ты быстрее, ну ёпросто. Ёперный по голове. Заросшем парке стоит старинный дом. Эх, да.
I could see Cauldron Lake. I thought I could make out the spot where the island and the cabin had been. There was a light near it. It had to be a boat.
Угу, конечно. Лодочка. Лодочка там. Разумеется.
I was close now. I had to get there fast. I dreaded what I would find.
Чё нету?
Wait! Are you? Wait!
Hey, I'm here! I'm coming!
No! Get away! Sorry! Please, lady! The boss didn't know who he was messing with! I didn't know! I swear, I didn't know! We don't have his wife! We don't know where she is! She's probably drowned! We just said we had her to make him play ball, you see? To get him writing for us! Please! Please!
Красиво. Минус спина. Конец третьего эпизода. Длинный какой-то эпизод вышел. Почти... Ну, или я его слишком много тупила. Ну, почти 2,5 часа, поэтому я новый, наверное, не буду начинать. Следующий эпизод оставлю на следующий стрим. Так что послушаем приятную музыку. И на этом я закончу. Спасибо за просмотр, сообщение в чате. И увидимся завтра. Пока-пока. Мяу.
Was blacker than the chambers of a dead nun's heart. Who's that milling around the courthouse steps? Nail on my face to the hitch and fence. Who's that milling around the courthouse? the devil and off we crept. Oh no, where could I go with my hump of trouble and my sack of woe to the digs and the deserts of Mexico, where my neck was safer from the lynching rope? Who's that yonder laughing at me like I was the brunt of some hilarity? Who's that yonder laughing at me? Well, jump the devil.